Good day, everyone. I am Shalame Ilinghag, and today I will discuss the rules in playing track and field events. Rules in playing track and field events. Track and field events may have complex rules and rule book. Primary events such as sprinting and long distance running have only a few key rules that must be followed by all participants. Failure to follow the basic rule of track and field can result in an automatic disqualification. Basic of the rules and etiquette around track and field are very simple. Don't interfere with other competitors. Wait for the starter gun to go up before running. Jump or through before the goal line. Jump over the bar without making it full. And pass the baton, a hollow metal chip, to other teammates. Now we have basic rules. Each participant is allowed to compete in 3 events, including relays. Each runner is allowed one false start but disqualified in the second false start. Events include 100 meters, 200 meters, 400 meters, 800 meters, 1,600 meters, 3,200 meters, 4 times 100 relays, 4 times 400 relays, high jump, long jump, shoot put, and discus. Now, this is the rules of hurdles and sprint. Hurdles and sprint starting blocks are used for all hurdles, relays, and sprint events. The starting block consists of 2 adjustable cold plates attached for a rigid frame. Hurdle and sprint races commence with the firing of all starter guns. The starting commands are on your hand and set. Once all athletes are in the position, the starter gun is fired, officially starting the race. False start. If the sprinter commences his or her starting motion from the seat position before the starter gun is fired, it is then a false start. The first false start of the race results in automatic disqualification to the offending runner. The next rules is the medal distance. With all individual races, 800 meters and more prolonged, there are no starting blocks. Runners begin in an upright position, their hands prohibited from touching the ground. The starting command for these races is on your marks. Once all athletes are at the mark, the starter gun is fired, officially starting the race. An 800-meter race comprises 8 runners, each in his or her own lane for the staggered start. In the 500 meters and steeplechase, which have 12 runners, a group start is used. In the 800 meters, all runners must stay within their assigned lanes through the first turn, after which they break for position to the inside the lane. Negotiating barriers. In the steeplechase, any competitor who steps to the side of a jump or throws his foot or leg alongside any barrier will disqualified. Athletes may be go over the barriers in any way, as long as no part of the foot or legs goes below the horizontal plane of the top bar at the instance of clearance. The next rules is distance. In distance events, there are no starting blocks. Runners begin in an upright position, their hands prohibited from touching the ground. The starting command for these races is on your marks. Once all athletes are at the mark, the starter gun is fired, officially starting the race. Distance races begin with a mass start. When there are more than 12 competitors in a race, they can be split into staggered group for a start. In Olympic distance races, there are no lane assignments, so runner can be break for position from the start. The next rules is race walking. Race walking is a progression of steps taken that makes constant contact with the ground. The advancing leg shall be straightened from the moment of the first contact with the ground until the vertical upright position. There are 6 to 9 judges for each Olympic race walk event. Athletes are given warning by the judges when they violate the definition of the race walk by exhibiting a visible loss of contact or a bent knee. The next role is jumping. High jump. Athlete must take off from one foot. A failed attempt occurs when the crossbar does not remain on the support after the jump off because it was touched by the athlete. Athletes have 3 misses of each height before being eliminated from the competition. However, clear the highest bar wins, although ties are frequent. The sum rules of the high jump apply. Each athlete has 3 attempts to successfully clear a height to remain a competition. Hold 4. Athlete can place substance on their hands or the pole to obtain better grip, but are not permitted to use tape or their hand or fingers except to cover an open one. Athletes may use their poles during competition. The poles may be made of any material, can be of any length and diameter. If the pole is broken during the attempt, it is not considered a failure, and the faulter gets another attempt. And these are the failed attempt occur. First is the bar does not remain on the pegs after the pole because of athlete touch it. Second, the athlete moves his lower hand after the upper one or moves the upper hand higher on the pole once he has left the ground. Third, the athlete steadies or replaces the bar during the pull. Long jump. All jumps are measured from the take-off line to the nearest break in the landing area made by any part of the body. A board 20 cm wide near the end of the runway, mark of take-off point, and the distance jump can measure from the end of the board to the spot where the athlete first break the sand. If any part of the jump where feet goes behind the board during takeoff, jump is rolled or pulled and will not be measured or counted. So the next roles is throwing. The shoot, discus, and hammer are all known from the throwing circle. The javelin is a thrown from a runway. The name of the game is all throwing event is distance. The fastest throw wins. If the athlete steps out of the throwing circle or the runway during the act of throwing, the throw is considered a failed attempt. A valid throw must hold entirely within the marked landing area. The athlete must not leave the circle or runway until the implement has touched the ground. So, these are the types of throwing. The first is discus throw. The discus throw is a cage, is a circle that designates the throwing area. Stepping out of the circle during throw constitutes a fall and a throw will be not measured. Each competitor is allowed 3 intentional throws with a longest distance intervening has place in the standing. After the first 3 throws, the competition can be narrowed to allow only a set number of top placers in the standing to take additional 3 throws and determine the final order of finish. So, the second one is the javelin shoot. The trick of to get maximum forward motion on the approach within the stepping over the line. As in the other throws, if the athlete steps over the designated throwing line, the result is a fall and unmeasured throw. Other tricky thinking about the javelin is that it must land tip down to be considered fair. And the last is shoot put. The shoot put is the glide involves starting in a crouch position, shoot, hook, tuck between neck and shoulder under the chain. Then taking a large powerful stride backward toward the launching point while turning the body and uncoiling the legs to release the foot up and out towards the landing area. New potters usually master the glide technique before graduating to the spin. Spinners will be 1 to 1.5 rotation before releasing the chute from the edge of the circle and hopping ground and tip to keep themselves from rotating out of the circle, thereby falling and nullifying other quotes. So these are the exception. So in the long jump and throwing event, the shoot put, discus, and javelin competitors are allowed 3 attempts only. So in track events, a full start is assigned only to the athlete who committed it, and disqualification only occurs when the same athlete falls start twice. And that's all. Thank you.